Well, after a couple of weeks away, we are almost set to do it all over again. But first, we've got the media day to do, and this, the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship. And welcome to the commentary box alongside me for this interesting evening ahead, where we're trying out a slightly tweaked format. Is me, Adam Bath, and also alongside me, Sam Fitzpatrick as well. And Sam, we're here at the media day. We're trying out a new format. It's all going to be housed in one session, and it's something that we're going to be looking forward to. I think, especially with the size of grid that we've got ahead of what we've got tonight, because we've got 40 plus cars. So this should be pretty good. And it looks like at the moment, as the practice session goes on, we haven't got too long to go before we get going here.
Yes, very happy to be here. I'll just put everyone's worries at rest. Andrew Woodhouse will be back for the rest of the championship, so the Dream Duo will be back in the future. But no, very excited for this season 2. The last couple of championships have been very exciting since we had kind of the rebrand. So no, should be very interesting to speak to a few of the team managers, see what their expectations for this season is, and a little bit of a preview to the coming season. And of course, we're testing out the beta UI, the heat racing format. It's a little bit of a change to ARLTC, and we'll see how that changes things in the future.
Indeed, yes. So at the moment, we've got a practice session going on at the moment, and then after that, we will be getting set to do business. We will run you through the format right now. So the format is made up of a first heat race, which is going to be 20 minutes or 20 laps in length, whatever happens first. And then we go on to what looks like a consolation race, followed on by a feature race. So, and the feature race, we have the top 30 reversed. So, top 42, I should say, reversed for that one. So we'll try and make sense of it tonight before the season itself gets underway. And I know it's something that you've had to get to grips with, Sam, because you were one of the stewards in one of the Apex Racing League series that we had on the air a couple of weeks ago in the ARA GT4 League.
Yeah, absolutely. So the heat format introduced by iRacing a couple of about a year ago, I believe, and it basically means that we don't have to set up a couple of servers. It does mean that unfortunately we don't have a random reverse grid, which I'm sure Marco Barbonero in particular was a big fan. I'm sure Sam in the broadcast room at the moment will be a little bit disappointed with that as well. So no random reverse. We're going to have a fixed reverse grid today of just 30 cars, and no gaps between the races. So for all the viewers, it should be a whole lot better. This new format, it should be able to not have any breaks. You won't be able to see the iRacing trailers, unfortunately, but you'll be able to see a little bit more racing. So it should be very good.
Currently looking at Jason Cooper then on track, as we have not too long to go in the practice session, and we have got some new teams to watch out for. Jason Cooper here driving for the Swift Cooper esports team, and a whole lot of new names as well to factor into the equation alongside the familiar faces. Looking here at Proven Val in the TC Motorsport car on the Snetterton 200 layout as well, we should also mention today. So the closest layout we've got to the previous version of Snetterton, where we go out the right-hander and onto the very long back straight here. So.
Yeah, in my opinion, the better Snetterton. That may divide opinion between the 200 and the 300, but the old circuit in particular is absolutely incredible, especially the last corner. A slight difference, but it's still got some of its characteristics of being flat, which has a Norfolker perfectly demonstrates what our landscape is. Some of these corners don't even have barriers on the side of them, but this 200 circuit, I think the admins kind of thought it was going to be a little bit of an easier circuit to start off. The 300, despite having not too many corners, and despite being flat, as I say, it can still be a little bit tricky, and you can get a bit clustered as well into a couple of the hairpins. Very narrow part of the circuit. This slightly wider 200 circuit should work slightly better for the driver. Should reduce the incidents, and I think it should be pretty evenly matched around this track. A couple of the corners are very similar to one another. The drivers will know this one pretty well. I believe we visited here a couple of seasons ago in the Winter Championship, and so everyone should be up to pace, and yeah, will be a good opportunity for a couple of drivers to maybe get a podium that way. At the moment, the drivers on practice, I think we are going to advance the session to qualifying pretty soon. But yeah, also perhaps get some interviews with team managers.
It's your local track as well, isn't it? Snetterton, as far as I'm aware.
Absolutely. 20 miles away. 20 miles away, I think.
Is that pretty close in Norfolk terms?
I mean, that's usually somewhere close to Norfolk is 100 miles. I mean, that's like within arm's reach for us lot. So no, 20 miles away. It's quite a luxury to have one of the best circuits in Bristol pretty near us.
There you go. Well, looking here, yeah, Matthias Sower, he's driving for WS Racing Esports. We have got a few returnees as well. Alex Simpson, who, if any of the viewers that followed the ARA GT4 League on a Tuesday, remember, he was in the comms box with me. He was back behind the wheel of the car. He did pretty well in this championship a couple of years ago. He managed to come runner-up to Wojciech Savinovic that year, so he was a pretty quick pedaler in the car. After years of saying he wouldn't get in a touring car, he managed to get in one and actually did pretty well. And here he is again, back at it for another year. And we'll see how he can get on against Wojciech Savinovic, who for the first time in many a year is not the defending champion in this series anymore. I think the last person to dethrone him was Sebastian Joe back in 2015, and we all know what he's gone on to do since then. So yeah, Wojciech Savinovic will be out to try and reclaim the crown. And here's Craig Williams, another returnee for another season, trying for Craig's setup shop. That team had a pretty good debut season in the ARLTC, and in the practice session he's currently 13th going into the first corner here. Really tricky double apex right-hander, and then you've got the run down to the Wilson hairpin, which, as we've seen in many touring car series in the past, can lead to a bit of chaos. And probably on this 200 layout, Sam, is going to be our main overtaking hotspot on the circuit as a result of us not using the 300 layout at all.
Yeah, I think so. I remember commentating on a GT4 series, the Digital Motorsports Championship on the Esports Network quite recently on this 200 lap, and it was tricky. It was really tricky to overtake that hairpin, as you say. Definitely the best opportunity. Have the slight toe coming from the final corner into turn one, and then you can maybe nail the first corner. It's very much a corner where occasionally you just absolutely ate it, and you can't really replicate it any other time. But of course, double apex turn one, you can absolutely nail that one, and then just go for a big dive down the inside into the hairpin at turn two. So that's going to be one of the best opportunities for the drivers there, as I think we might be able to have a chat with a couple of the drivers of the team managers.
Yeah, let's get them in for a quick word. Let's start off with Ross Mcfarlane, of course. He is the defending champion going into this one, so let's grab him in. And he joins us now in the commentary box. So Ross Mcfarlane, welcome. You're on the track as well. I hope I'm not distracting you. Oh, wow.
Sorry, yeah, hello. That was a surprise. Yeah, hi guys.
Well, yeah, well, definitely no chance of distracting you now. Yeah, what's it like to be back, and what are your thoughts of the season ahead? Because we have got a slightly tweaked format, and obviously you'll be out to make sure you can retain the title this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going into the season, it's all come about very quickly. You know, it still feels like yesterday that the last season was just completing, but no, the new format's going to be interesting. The no showdown format is going to make it very tricky for some drivers in their approach to the championship. But then I'm sure there's others who are going to be very happy about it. I know a few that are ecstatic to see no showdown, because typically, you know, showdown has an element of luck and just careful driving, whereas a full season of just good hard racing can really bring the cream of the crop up to the top. So no, I'm very excited to see what happens.
How's the car been like in practice? Has much changed in the period where you've been, where the season has been out of action at all, or are you just straight back in and nothing's changed at all?
No, not much has changed with the car. It's more or less exactly the same as it was. There's been no power changes, no tire changes, so we're pretty much running as normal. I'm sure I'll have to get back used to it again. It's been a while since I've driven it in anger. A lot of GT3s have been driven in the meantime, but I'm sure we'll get straight back into it pretty quickly and shouldn't have any issues.
And finally, I know practice is very difficult to read anything. Very difficult to read anything out of practice. But is there anyone that you've got your eye on at the moment that may be one of your biggest threats to retaining the title this season?
Oh, wow, there's a lot of them. This season is gonna no doubt be one of the absolute most competitive I've ever seen. There's 15 drivers who are top end touring car drivers, or just the drivers in general. You know, the likes of, I'm sure Cedric and Balfour are going to be on the hunt for it again, Wojciech Sabinovic, and then a couple newcomers, Turnbull, Kieran Harrison. I've been racing with them in other series, and they are incredibly quick, incredibly competitive. So there's a lot of names on that board that I'm slightly nervous about, but I've got to just try my best, be consistent, and hopefully, maybe I can have a chance at retaining.
Well, we've got many weeks to find out if you can, and we'll be watching with keen interest, that is for sure, Ross. And yeah, we'll let you get back to it, as I'm sure qualifying isn't too far around the corner. So yeah, thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us before we get up and running here.
Cheers, guys.
Good to hear from Ross Mcfarlane. Sam, I know we've got to crack on with these interviews. So who are you eyeing up next? We have got a few drivers waiting to talk to us, including Alex Sneller, Pete Newman, and a couple of others as well as ahead of qualifying.
I think we'll have a chat with our amateur champion from last season, Pete Newman, who is in the commentary box with us right now. Welcome, Pete. Being a pro driver now, it's a little bit of an upgrade. You reveling that change, or are you a little bit disappointed to leave the amateur category?
Yeah, hi guys. It's obviously nice. I kind of was a little bit disappointed last year to be in AM, to be honest. So it's kind of nice to be back in pro. Hopefully, I'll be able to not drop down to AM again. But it's obviously was quite nice last season to have an opportunity to fight for the championship.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you've had a look at the calendar yet this season, but any rounds which kind of stand out to you as tracks that you're looking forward to visit?
I'd like to say I have, but I've had a really busy week, so I haven't had a look. If Bathurst on there, always a fan of that track, and any of the UK tracks really, apart from Snetterton. So I'm kind of glad we're getting Media Day done out the way here.
Well, absolutely. I mean, are you slightly pleased that we're missing the 300 lap? Because I'm not a big fan of the infield, but this 200 lap, it's not too much to dislike, is there?
I prefer the infield to the rest of the track. So this is all the bit I don't like, and the bit I do like is not here. So yeah, roll on next week.
Should have used
Where
the
are we?
100 like yeah, I mean, what are your goals for this season? Of course, ended last season very impressively. Is there like a position in the championship, or are you just focusing on the team's championship this season?
No, I think it'd just be nice to carry that form over, and yeah, just see where that can go. I think on that sort of form, I'd be very happy with the top 10 in the pro, and obviously it just gets better and better each season. So I mean that's going to be pretty difficult, I would imagine, with seeing all these people on the grid.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck out there today and for the rest of the season. Is there anyone you'd like to quickly give a shout out to?
Really just my 3M UK teammates, obviously Jamie and Anwar, and the rest of the Pure Sims team, Ash for putting it all together, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, one sort of person I would like to say thanks to is my dad. He passed away last year, so he basically gave me the foundations to lead the life that I kind of live at the moment, and be able to sit here with you guys doing racing every Thursday. So that's pretty much it, and thanks to you guys.
Thanks for having a chat with us, Pete, and yeah, hope to see you lots during the rest of the season.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Oh, great to hear from Pete Newman there. And yeah, powerful message. Hopefully he'll be bringing home the bubbly at some point this season. And let's see if we can squeeze maybe one more in before we get the qualifying on the road here. For, of course, the media day. Round 1 of the season starts next week, but we're getting the media day in today just so we can get the season up and running. Let's get Alex Nella in then. And also, we do have... okay. Let's get Alex Nella in then for a quick word ahead of lights outs here on the media day. He joins us now. He's in 7th place at the moment in the practice session on the media day. And Alex, welcome to the commentary box, and
Hi guys.
and welcome to the start of another season. Yeah, the Audi RS3. How are you finding things so far in the few hours of practice that we've had at the moment?
Yeah, well, it's great to be back in the car. Great to be back in this series. Really, obviously, I was in the TCR Winter Series, almost a year ago now. I took last season out for personal reasons, but now I'm back, and for some reason they've stuck me in the pro category. Although, as you say, I guess I am currently sort of up there. So, yeah, I'm quite anxious to get started. Anxious to see how we can do.
Yeah, me and Andrew Woodhouse, I think, are still trying to work out how they decide the pro and the AM category. It does puzzle our minds. But what are your aims for the season? Obviously, at the moment you're in the top 10 in terms of the practice. But yeah, with being put in the pro category, I guess you've got to make sure that you can maybe get a top 10 in the standing, something like that. Is that something to aim for?
Yes, yeah. Obviously, top 10 in the media day practice is very different to being in the top 10 when everyone is driving in anger. But I feel like I do have a little bit of a point to prove, because when I was driving in the Winter Series, even though I was in the AM category, I definitely had the pace to be in the top of the AM category. But I had a few too many silly errors. I ended up in the showdown through a wildcard entry rather than on merit of points. So I'm kind of coming back fighting, I guess.
And starting off tonight at the media day, we are at Snetterton, the 200 layout. I guess it's a layout that allows everybody to ease their way back into it, not too much in the way of corners, and a good opportunity to see what these cars are like once again in the slipstream.
Oh, well, see, I'm going to sort of clash horns with Sam a bit here, because I'm a massive fan of the 300 layout.
Oh, ding ding! Here we go.
Yeah, I just think it's a better track. I think the 200 layout has all of the bad corners on it, and the 300 layout has all of the better corners on it.
Sam, your response?
Well, I mean, I just hope that you're better at driving, Alex, than you are at picking race circuits. Is all I can say.
Well, then.
The thing is, it's all right. You can annoy me. I'm not commentating on the rest of the season, so there won't be any bias. But I'm not sure what Woody's views on the 300 circuit is, but I have to disagree.
Oh wow. Well,
So was that a bit harsh? We haven't even started the season yet, and the rivalries have already started.
Well, I'm not sure a driver and a commentator necessarily have a rivalry, but you know, it's all part of the fun, isn't it?
there you go. Well, before we let you go, Alex, and continue your prep ahead of qualifying, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, well, I just want to give a shout out to all of the boosted guys, really, for allowing me to keep on driving for them, flying the boosted flag. And obviously, you guys both in Apex Racing League and Apex Racing TV for doing your best and putting on the best show you can.
Oh yeah, we're looking forward to it. And I think for yours and Sam's sakes, I'll step in here and put an end to that. But all the best tonight and ahead of the rest of the season, Alex. And yeah, thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us today.
No problem. Cheers, guys.
Well, there is Alex Nella, and I might just be the mediator here and say I'm not a fan of the circuit in general, but There we go. Let's move on to find someone else to talk to then ahead of qualifying, which gets underway in just over just over 15 minutes. No, over 25 minutes.
About 25 minutes.
Yeah. So let's move on to let's get Michael F. Doka in, who did very well last season in the ARLTC, and he'll be hoping to continue that form onwards into this season. And he joins us in the commentary box now. Michael F. Doka, can you hear us, mate?
Oh yeah, you alright?
Yeah, we're looking forward to the start of a new season here, and I'm sure you are as well. It feels like no time at all since we were last covering this series, and here we are back again, ready to get going.
I'm looking forward to it. It's a bit of a rush getting everything sorted for the new season, but it should be good fun.
What's the card been like, and also what's the Pure Sims team been like over the last couple of weeks? Is there anything that's changed too much in the way of that?
Yeah, obviously a new venture for me, moving from FitSty over to Pure Sims. It's been good. I mean, I'm clicking with the team quite well. Setups and everything has been really good and helpful. Especially Ross. Ross is really good with the setups. So, yeah, really enjoying it and looking forward to the new season. Obviously, we've got the 3 teams this season: esports, OBP, and 3M. And yeah, I'll be in the OBP car.
And your aims for this season, obviously last season was pretty successful for you. Hoping to keep that up this season?
Yeah, I mean, last season was sort of a bit of a sighter for me. I didn't feel like I had the best of starts, but towards the end of the season, I felt like I sort of got in the swing of things. So it'd be nice to sort of start off well and continue throughout the season, but we'll see how things go.
No problem. And yeah, before we get going tonight, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Just the Pure Sims guys, all the sponsors, 3M, OBP, Pure Sims, and you guys for the broadcasts to come.
We're looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm hoping you are as well, because I think this new format could provide some interesting races. But yeah, all the best, Michael, for the whole season, and thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us ahead of the media day today.
Nice.
Right. Yeah. Let's move on then. Sam, who is next on our hit list? We have. I know we missed Philippe Hansen for Hell Racers, but we did get Alex Sneller in. Next up, I'm guessing we'll try and squeeze in Jason Cooper.
Yes, we will drag Jason Cooper up, who's in the commentary box with us now. Welcome back, Jason. You looking forward to the season? It's nice to be back in the TCR cars.
Yeah, really looking forward to the season again. It's been a couple of weeks of not doing a lot, so eager to get back on it.
Absolutely. Explain to us who you're running with this season, who your teammates are, and kind of what your aims for the season.
The guys from Automate didn't want to carry on this season, so I've resurrected the Swift Cooper team from the Masters and brought Kip and Adam along. I'm sure we'll have a bit of fun together.
Absolutely. And what do you think of the the lack of showdown? I mean, it's a little bit of a change from what we're used to. Any ideas of how that's kind of changed the racing or changed the outcome of the championship at all?
Well, last season, I think I was second in the points in the main season, and the showdown didn't go so well for me. I ended up 7th, so hopefully that bodes well for me.
And today, Snetterton, we've had mixed opinions of it so far, different layouts and such. You looking forward to tackling this circuit today?
Yeah, I don't mind Snetterton, any of the layouts. I quite like the infield, but again, I've done all right in real life on this layout as well. I think I had the lap record in the Fiestas, so a while ago that was now.
Wow.
So that's so you've done kind of many races around here in the real world?
Yeah, I've won a few races in the Fiesta Championship round there. That was back in 2011-12.
Good take. So certainly the potentially man to beat. Jason, is there anyone you'd like to go shouts out to?
Yeah, Kip and Adam. Hopefully we can pull a championship together and get a good team result.
Absolutely. Best of luck, Jason, and yeah, best of luck for today.
Yeah, cheers for speaking to me. See you later.
Jason
All the
Cooper there
best,
for,
all the
for
best,
the
Jason. Sorry, Sam. Yeah,
so
I was just,
yeah, for the Swift Super Esports team. Good to see that team back. We haven't seen it for a few months.
right, let's move on to Philippe Hansen. Obviously, he was in earlier. We were meant to get him in earlier, but he has come back. So let's get him in for a quick word. Driving for Hell Racers this season. First of all, Philip, can you hear us?
Yeah, hello.
Well, welcome to the commentary box and welcome to the start of a new season. I know it's the media day, but I guess you must be pretty excited ahead of the start of the season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's actually my first time racing the TCR car, and I think it's my second appearance in the Apex Leagues. So, yeah, pretty excited. Looking forward to it.
Aside from this practice session today, have you had much experience in the Audi at all?
Not at all. I think I've run a few official races, and it's the first time at Snetterton. So, yeah, I'm new.
And have you had much practice at all then with standing starts? Because I know in the Michelin Pilot Challenge you're doing rolling starts, isn't that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that'd be a new future as well. So that'd be exciting.
Okay. Yeah. I promise you they're quite tricky to get away from the lines. So
I can imagine the
yeah.
turbo boost.
It just feels worse as you get further away. That's what it's like. But yeah, as it is your first season in the ARLTC, have you got many aims for where you want to finish, or do you just want to make sure you can get maybe a top 5 or a podium, or maybe even a win over the course of the season?
Yeah, to be honest, I got no clue. So yeah, we'll see. I'm just trying to run my pace and do my best every week and do the consistently and not end up in trouble so much. So we'll see.
And your team Hell Racers, you've got Ricard with you as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Is he? I think he's brand new to the series as well. So have you been trying to share information about what each of you are learning as the series goes on?
Yeah, we're practicing together, focusing on Spa, of course, next week. So yeah, so we're practicing together and sharing setup and tips. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Cool. Well, before we let you go then, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to ahead of the start of the evening?
Yeah, just a quick shout out to my other teammates at Hellraisers and our sponsors at Pixel Dust and Tearshine. So, and thanks you guys for having me.
No problem at all. Yeah, good to see you and good to hear from you as well ahead of the start of the season, and hopefully we'll see you up there on the podium at some point.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go, short and sweet with Philippe Hansen, Sam. And let's move on to who's next on our list then. We have got Adrian Campfield ready to talk to us. And he's in the commentary box now. Adrian Campfield. First of all, can you hear us?
I can indeed.
Well, welcome to the commentary box and welcome to the start of another ARLTC season. You and the Fiercely Forward crew all set to go. And how are you finding the Audi ahead of the first qualifying session? Well, first qualifying session of the season, the qualifying session of the media day anyway.
Bit nervous, to be honest. I only dipped in and out last season, sorry. So yeah, just looking forward to the season. Really, we've got a good team now. We've got myself, Damien, and Alex right from the beginning. We've got some setup help in there as well. So you know, we're going to do a lot of practice. We're going to do a lot of setup work. Yeah, it should be a good season for us. We're all really looking forward to it. We're all eager to get going, and yeah, we just can't wait to get going, really.
Collectively, how much experience do you as a team have of driving this car?
So personally for me, I've only done sort of a couple of championships. I did the DMS championship. I know Damien and Alex certainly drive this car quite a bit. So I would say they're probably a little bit ahead of me on experience. So I'll be hoping to learn off those guys. I know they race quite a lot on the IMSA championship on the iRacing forum. So I don't tend to race too much in those. I like to stick to the leagues, but yeah, you know, they're quite experienced. So hoping to learn off those guys, and I'm hoping they are right there with the pace. So next week will all be revealed.
Well, things looking pretty promising for you at the moment. You yourself, you're in second place, and I believe you in the Pro-Am category this year.
I am. I'm in the AM, so looking forward to that. I'm not sure where second place has come from. I'm about half a second off at the moment, but the guys track to track temperature. So yeah, we'll see how we get on in the AM. I'm feeling pretty confident to get some good results in that. Not feeling as confident to race in the pros. Obviously, I've raced a few of these guys, and they are a little bit quicker than me. So yeah, hoping to get better as the season goes on. And the team is we're hoping for a top 5 in overall championship. So going to be difficult, but we've got our work cut out and we're ready for it.
And I know it's something you probably can't prepare for, but you've got the reverse grid to contend with as well as the season goes on. Is that something you can prepare for at all? Or have you just got to make sure you make the most of it if you're mired in the midfield?
Yeah, it was a baptism of fire for me last year doing a few rounds. The reverse grid certainly did catch me out. You know, 60 cars and whatever. It's chaos. So you've just got to stay clean, stay out of trouble. Not worth fighting every position like it's for the last lap win. So you got to think tactically. It's a long season. Try not to have the DNFs, and eventually the points will tally up. And at the end of the season, hopefully you're somewhere near or not nearabouts, because let's be honest, everyone in this season at some point is going to have a bad race or 2 or 3, so it's just minimizing the amount you have.
Great. Well, before we let you go, Adrian, ahead of the start of the media day, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Just obviously my teammates, Ollie, who's the fiercely forward guy, runs the team. So yeah, hoping to do well for those, and we've got Andrew who's helping us with the setups as well. So yeah, just shout out to those guys. Looking forward to working with them and hopefully get some good results for the team. So good luck to everyone else that's racing.
Yeah, and you as well, Adrian. Thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us today.
No problem. Cheers, guys.
Right, we are clawing back the time here. Let's move on next. Sam, I believe you will be with
I think Timmy
Toby
Wilson.
Oh, have we not done Toby yet?
I think, did we do Toby? I think we did Toby.
I don't think we did Toby.
Did we not do Toby? Okay. Are we sure we didn't do Toby? We should know this by now.
Yeah, we did Alex Nella, we didn't do Toby. Let's get
Okay.
Toby.
Toby Ward is with us in the commentary box for the first time today, as we have just established. Welcome, Toby. How are you feeling before this media day? A little bit nervous, or are we willing to go?
Yeah, I guess. It's the first time Free Spires has managed to put a full team together. In previous events, like the 2 hours of Nürburgring and in the GT4 series, I've basically been running it as a one-man band. Really happy to have Ben, Gregory and Rob Sutherland back on. Both have incredible pace, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to challenge for the AM Championships this season.
I was about to say, those 2 drivers very good. Rob Sutherland, American GT3 amateur champion, I believe. So he
wins
very
series.
So he was very good in that. And then, of course, Ben Gregory is a very good driver as well in many cars. So that's a really strong team. I mean, any of you guys could have easily been promoted to a pro. So, like you said, you'll be looking for that championship. I mean, do you have much experience, going for championships as a team, or is this the first time you collab together?
This is pretty much the first time we've collaborated together. I know Ben has been with the Pitstop boys before, so he has a bit more experience working in teams, that kind of thing. And Rob Sutherland, he's done a lot of racing in real life, racing Citroen C1s in endurance events. So those guys have a lot of experience in working together as a team. I myself, not so much. This will definitely be my first sort of season working in a team, so I've got a lot to learn from in that way. But we get along really well. We're pretty cooperative and chilled out. It's not like we have a lot of bickering like perhaps some teams. So yeah, I think we'll be able to score really solid points. Our main objective really is just to finish the race in the first place and then work from there. especially last season when I entered the last few sort of rounds. I quickly realised that actually just finishing the race gained you way more points. This series is quite attritional because there's obviously a lot of fighting in the space of 20 minutes. So yeah, that's going to be our main strategy this season. I think is just be consistent, score good points, and that should hopefully win us the championship.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck for it, Toby. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my boys back at home, Francis, Anthony, James. I thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate you watching. You have no idea how much it means to me, and same to my parents as well. And same with our sponsors. Thank you so much for supporting the team and getting it to where it is right now.
Awesome. Thanks for having a chat with us, Toby, and best of luck today.
Thank you very much.
Good to hear from Toby Ward there. Right, we have got 6 drivers to get through in just over 10 minutes, so we better rattle on through these. Next up is now Kieran Harrison, so let's get him in for a quick chat. Kieran Harrison, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Well, welcome to the commentary box and welcome to the ARLTC. I believe this is your first season in this championship.
Yeah, it is. It is. I've heard a lot of things about the championship, but I'm looking forward to get started.
Yeah, how have you found the practice so far, and how have you found the Audi RS3? Have you had much experience of racing front-wheel drive cars at all?
Yeah. So I didn't drive the car too much until basically lockdown started, and then I did a couple of championships in it and realised it really clicked with me quite well. So I wanted to give this championship a go for a while, but I was a bit scared of the front-wheel drive until I got used to it. So here we are. Looking forward to it.
And in that time, have you had much practice with the standing starts? Because I know a few drivers that we've spoken to that have driven the Audi previously, they haven't been in races where you've had to try and get it off the line from a standing start.
Yeah, they were pretty much all standing stuff, the ones that I did.
Oh, brilliant.
The last series I did was the PMR E series. Matthew Turnbull, who's joined this series as well now, he was getting fantastic standing starts and he refused to tell me how until the end of the season. Now I know it's quick, hopefully I can get some good starts.
Well, if you're not revving the engine at all and the person next to you is, the odds are you'll probably jump him away from the line. That's what I found. That's for sure. What are your aims for the season, Kieran, ahead of the start of the season next week?
Well, I'm going to try and compete to win it, ideally, but there's a lot of big names in the touring car in this series, so it's going to be extremely close, competitive. I think it's all about being consistent, especially with the huge reverse grids, which are a bit scary, but ideally you have to stay out of trouble and then see where you end up points-wise.
Definitely. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to ahead of the start of the season now?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to you guys, everybody at Apex Racing and the commentary team. Of course, my team, HM Engineering, and my teammates for this season, Norbert, who's a regular teammate of mine, and then Fraser, we're teaming up with here, who I believe is pretty damn good in this car. So, yeah, that's all for now.
Great. Well, all the best to you and the HM Engineering guys ahead of the season, and hopefully we'll get to see quite a bit of you over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, very much.
Time's moving on, and we've got 7 minutes to go until the start of quali. A few drivers getting back out onto the circuit, but next up in the interview room is Mark Johnston. I can see him down there, Sam. Let's see if we can get him in for a quick word ahead of quali.
Yes, Mark joins us now. Welcome to the commentary box. How's you looking forward to this Snetterton circuit? I mean, have you got much experience with this car track combination today?
Not really with this car track combination, my friend. I know the track for real a bit, but Luke, my teammate, I'd like to welcome him to the team. As Trigger, you know, Nathan Davis, we've sort of lost him to the world of strip clubs at the moment. So he went into lockdown in Sophisticated Cats in Soho, so I'd like to thank them for looking after him. But if they could let him come out for next weekend, that'd be fantastic.
How are you? Well, Headsgith Racing, believe it's your first time under that name in this series, or was it last season as well?
They've been here for some time, Sam.
Oh dear.
trust you on that.
Oh dear me.
Yeah, we
all right.
started up last year. This is our first full season, should I say. It was me and Trigger were independents last year, and then we merged together to make this. And we're loving being a part of it. And as I say, Luke Kidsley's joined the team. He's come across from the Mini Esports Championship, which he won a couple of rounds in and stuff. And he wants to play a proper game in the form of iRacing now. So game on. Can't wait.
Oh, I said earlier on to Three Spires how they had a strong team. I mean, it's the same case with you, with yourself and Nathan and Luke. Certainly, Nathan had some pretty good results last season. So, have you got any aims in the Drivers' Championship, or is it just all about the Teams Championship? Because you've got a good chance at the title.
Well, if Nathan doesn't tick me off in the last round of the shootout next year, or this season, we could do quite well. But yeah, we're every man for ourselves, and we're all working together. So we'll see what happens. We'll just have loads of fun, loads of racing, a few wee drinks on the weekends, and have a good laugh about it. So yeah, man, it's mega. Glad to be back. Can't wait to play.
Absolutely. Well, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yes, I'd like to thank Crystal, Candice and Jennifer for looking after Trigger, but again, please, can you unbond him and let him come back to racing? We're missing his technical side.
Well, we'll try. I'll try. Thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us, Mark. And I'm blushing. But we'll speak to you soon later on in the season.
Boys, I love your work all season. Can't wait to watch it on replay. Keep safe. Love you, lot. See you soon.
See you soon.
Hope he's not streaming with a webcam. That would be the worst case scenario.
Right, we have got 4 minutes to go. So I know these drivers, the time is starting to run out. We have next got Jamie Wilson ready to talk to us. So let's get him in. He's driving for Team Chimera this season, and he is in the commentary box with us now. He's currently 16th in the practice session, and I think if he was there in quali, you'd be pretty happy with that. But Jamie, welcome to the ARLTC.
Hello guys, indeed you are correct in that assertion.
Oh definitely, yeah. How are you finding the Audi so far? And I guess in this practice session at the moment, this open practice session, you're getting a little bit of an idea of what it's going to be like once the racing gets underway. And have you had much experience with the close quarter racing that this series has?
Yeah, I've been sort of binge watching last season, the last couple of days, and it looks just completely insane. If you just scrub through the timeline at any point, it's just madness, which is kind of the appeal, I suppose. Simon Trendle and I have a background in touring car stuff pre-iRacing, so 2008, 9 sort of stuff, like the Sim games and stuff. So this is kind of returning to our roots in many ways. I'm looking forward to getting elbows out mode well and truly back on.
Have you watched it at all in the past ahead of signing up for this league at all?
Yeah, it's been one of those series I've sort of had an eye on, sort of from a distance. We kind of switched our focus into endurance racing, so we're familiar with this car. Obviously, we raced it in Neo last year, but racing it in an endurance context and racing it in this kind of format is quite a different thing we expect. So it'd be interesting to try and switch that mental mode of driving from one to the other.
And with that in mind then, have Team Chimera and yourself got any ambitions already set in stone ahead of the start of the new season?
Not really, no. We don't want to put any sort of numbers on it. We want to achieve top X in the championship or anything like that. We're just keen to see how we get on and see where we stack up. It's a bit of a kind of experiment for us, as I say, to return to our roots and see if that experience from all that time ago still sort of means anything these days in a field that's this stacked. It'd be quite interesting to see where we sort of naturally find ourselves.
Great. Well, thanks for waiting around to join us for an interview. Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to before we get going here?
Obviously Simon, who is the faster of us two and the one with the setup knowledge more than me. His input's going to be just massive the whole season, and just the wider Team Chimera team, and you guys and just the Apex organisation in general for putting such a slick thing together like this.
Great. Well, all the best for the season for you and the team, and thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us ahead of quali. We've Well, just over 90 seconds to go until we get going.
Better get back in the seat. Back in the seat. Cheers.
All the best. Good to hear from Jamie Wilson there. Sam, we have got 1 minute left. Who do you want to get in?
Okay, we will have a very quick chat with Joachim Gulbrandsen, which I've just gone through my head trying to pronounce that well. Have I pronounced that well, Joachim?
Just fine. It's
Nice one, awesome. Well, that's the season complete myself. What are your aims for this season? I mean, you're alongside some good drivers, Mats Borg, Anderson, of course, we saw plenty of last season. So, are you thinking you could maybe have a title in grasp by the end of the season?
All three of us is aiming to just finish and grab the points we can. So and of course both Preben and Mats is very keen on the top 10 in the amateur category.
And what type of cars are you kind of familiar with? Have you been driving these touring cars for a while, or have you kind of tried some other cars as well?
The two other drivers are